Wrangling in a high-profile case in the Midlands. A judge is weighing the validity of a search warrant in the Rick Chow murder case.
Chow, a Columbia gas station owner, is accused of fatally shooting a 14-year-old May 28th. Carmack Belton was falsely accused of shoplifting bottles of water from Chow's store. Chow appeared in court this morning as attorneys argued over whether a search warrant served on Chow's home and business can move forward. Nick Neville is on the story for us this evening.
Nick, you've been covering this case since it broke. What was the focus in that courtroom today, and where do things stand now regarding whether that search and those materials will be allowed in?
Yes, Judy, so no decision tonight, but the judge says that the defense team and the SLED agents who are currently reviewing those materials should stop doing so for now as the judge, continues to mull over his decision in this matter. The defense team for Rick Chow says that the state has no business accessing what was obtained during that search. The defense team for Rick Chow, the convenience store owner charged with murdering 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton back in May, calling for an emergency hearing to stop the execution of a search warrant on the Chow's home and business.
I mean, they're way off base, and they're not entitled to any of it.
Chow's lawyer, Jack Swerling, arguing Tuesday against the validity and legality of the search, which included personal laptops and banking records. The state argues they need to access these items to look for store policies having to do with shoplifting that were mentioned by Chow's wife in an interview with investigators.
This is a pattern of behavior for him, and it may be something that we get into as part of prior bad acts as to the crime that he committed this day.
The state says they could use the presence or absence of these documents to show the credibility of witnesses in the case. Judge Robert Hood not accepting that premise.
I think the state has morphed this into a credibility issue because when you read the facts of the affidavit, there's nothing that former or current employees have to do with the crime in any way, shape, or form.
Swirling along with seasoned Midlands attorney Joe McCullough, who represents Chow's son Andy and Chow's wife, say such a policy doesn't exist in written form, and this was all a miscommunication. The state already has in its possession a 3-page document that's the only known employee manual which does not mention shoplifting.
This is confusion, failure to do the simplest thing in the world, call the cooperating attorney and get the information and save the heartache and the terror when people, multiple cars, multiple police officers show up at her home and then her business.
Now, Judge Hood says that he will rule on this matter at some point next week. Meanwhile, Chow's bond on that murder charge has not yet been set. We'll, of course, stay on top of it and let you know just as soon as we learn more. For now, reporting in Columbia, Nick Neville, WIS Newstown.
Nick, thank you. And the solicitor's office is still weighing whether or not to charge Chow's son Andy in this case. Andy Chow's defense attorney bristled at that and alleges that Cyrus Carmack Belton had pointed a gun at his client.